Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. This is the last day of Native American Heritage Month, which I meant to make these videos weeks ago. As I said in my blooper reels, things that could go wrong have gone wrong. And, I want to talk to y'all about like Native American stuff. Some of the best people to follow this Native American is definitely Black Eagle. I still can't get your name right no matter what I try, brother. So, yeah. Go follow Black Eagle. He has an Instagram page. He has a YouTube. You guys should definitely check him out. He talks a lot about Native American stuff, so you guys should definitely check him out. So what I'm going to do, and what I'm going to attempt to do, is I'm going to go down a list of names for Native American superheroes in Marvel in DC. And then I'm going to talk about Coyote the Trickster. And I'm going to show you some Native American stuff from one YouTube channel to another. And then I'm going to let you guys go as I talk about Native American folklore, which I have to Google because I have the one about Coyote, but I don't have folklore as in straight folklore. So let's begin, shall we? Let's start with the comic book stuff, because that's going to be a short list and a little easier to go through. So right now before me I have a list of Native American superheroes or characters in Marvel Comics. So I'm going to go down this list that's in front of me, and it's not a really long list. It's a few people in this list, and it's a few people that's not in this list, which kind of pisses me off. So that might be where the more items kick in. So on the first, there's Apache Kid, was an early attempt at Native American in comics in 1956. Then there's John Thunder. Excuse me, that's not John Thunder. That's Thunderbird, John Proudstar. His brother would be James Warpath, which would be James Proudstar, which is not on this list, so it must be in the Moore's list. There's Black Crow, Red Wolf 1. There's 3 Red Wolves. I don't really know too much about Red Wolf. I do know about the Proudstar brothers. And I do know about Danielle Moonstar and Forge because they're both X-Men. So, Forge is on this list. Danielle Moonstar is on this list. Puma, Thomas Blackfire, is on this list, but he's actually not a hero. And Sculp Hunter is also a Native American, but he is also not a hero. And I don't know what just happened, but there's a video here that I am not trying to see. And this computer has lost complete and total control. Stop! Stop! Stop. It's like, it's scrolling. It has scrolled all the way to the bottom by itself. So now I have to scroll this bitch all the way back up to the top. I hate technology. I swear to God, I hate technology. Alright, so they have a Cheyenne Kid and Geronimo. There's a list of stuff on this thing. Hobbylarks.com is where I am if you care to see this CF that just happened. It's got a lot of other stuff, because I clicked on the more items from wherever I was, but I also wanted to go into Native Americans on TV, and I'm going to talk about that because a lot of the Native Americans that were on TV were not portrayed by Native Americans, so that kind of, that was a dark day. But then again, I think that at the time, let's be fair, at the time I don't think that a lot of Hollywood studios and stuff were really pandering to actual Native American people, if that makes sense to y'all. Which it probably doesn't, but if it does, So, they do have a list, and now that I have it, I can scroll down. Alright. So, they got a list right here. Native American heroes of Marvel Comics. I don't know what this is. Let me get rid of that. Alright, so... Oh, son of a bitch! Sorry. Notice this video is no longer for children. Alright. So there's 13 in all. I'm pretty sure there's more, but there's 13 in all. On this list anyway. So Thunderbird is number 1. Warpath is number 2. Black Crow is number 3. Red Wolf 1 and 2 are number 4. Forge is number 5. Adversary is number 6. This thing just jumped off the list. This is why I hate technology. Daniel Moonstar, aka Psyche, aka Mirage, aka Spellbinder, aka Dark Rider, is number 7. Puma is number 8. Why do you keep doing this, you piece of junk? Sorry, it's jumping off. It's going straight to Thunderbird. Talisman, he's Canadian. He's a First Nation. He would be something too Tallman. I forgot what, because his daughter, they would change names just like Vindicator and Guardian will forever changing names. I think when they were writing Alpha Flight, they couldn't make up their mind on who they wanted to be Vindicator, who they wanted to be Guardian. But anyway, Talisman, his daughter would wind up being Talisman as well, and they would change it back. Then you have American Eagle, and you have Wyatt Wingfoot, and you have Private J Little Bear. The problem is Sculpt Hunter is not on this list. If Puma's on this list, Sculpt Hunter should be on this list, and Sculpt Hunter is the leader of the Marauders. So in this thing, you have a picture of Proud Star. It gives you his name, and it was John first. Then you have James Proud Star, who is Warpath. Then you have Black Crow, and then as you scroll down, every name that I listed is on here. So once you get past Forge, then you get to Adversary, who had Forge had to kill 7 X-Men to well, 6 X-Men technically, and an innocent woman, Madeline Pryor, to get rid of the guy. Anyway, after you have her, then you have Puma. Puma's one of Spider-Man's enemies, if you guys don't know who he is. And then you have Shaman, and I'm going to be able to tell you his name in a second, because his name is Dr. Michael Two Youngman. I don't know why I thought it was Two Tallman, but I'm pretty sure it's been retconned. But anyway, I remember it was Two Tallman. But anyway, after that you have Talisman. Not really familiar with this character, but it's the same damn guy. Because it had him under Shaman, and then it has him under Talisman. But it's the same guy. So I remember he was Shaman, but his daughter didn't become Shaman. His daughter became Talisman. So yeah. But it doesn't have her picture there. It has him there. But then it does have his daughter listed as Elizabeth Talisman. She's Talisman now. So I was right about his daughter. Then you have American Eagle, which is what the hell is his name? John Strongbow. And then you have Wyatt Wingfoot, who was a member of the fanboy of the Fantastic Four or some shit. Then Private Little Bear, J Little Bear. And I think he was like in the NAM series. Okay, Captain Savage. So he was a leatherneck, he was a Marine. Alright. And then you actually have a picture of a real Native American, not a fictional Native American in here. So we're going to move over to the DC Comics thing now. And here we have Apache Chief, who technically belonged to Hanna-Barbera, not DC Comics. I think they bought the rights later on. And you have Ark, A-R-A-K. I'm probably not saying it right. Then you have Aztec. Then you have Black Condor. He's a Navajo. Aztec is literally an Aztec. Ark is a Quintaraka. I can't pronounce that shit. I'm going to spell it out for you. Quontauka Native. Alright, so I don't really remember what side of the earth that tribe is on. But when I say side of the earth, I mean in the Americas, like North or South or Canadian. Or probably Alaskan. Anyway, you have Butcher, he's Lakota. Captain Fear, he's a Carpi. Then you have Captain Thunder, he's Mohican. And you have Crazy Horse, who's, this thing says Renegades. So it's Chief Crazy Horse. So they're probably trying to make that after Crazy Horse. I'm clicking the more items now. And more items took me to Wikipedia. So we don't want that. No, we don't want that. Alright, so that was DC Comics. So DC had less Native American, you bastard, had less Native American characters than Marvel, and it won't give me back to that. That's why I hate technology, man. When I need that shit to work, it will not work. However, it has given me some Native American people. It's given me Pocahontas, it's given me Geronimo, It's giving me Metal Comet, and another one I can't pronounce is giving me Sitting Bull, and it's giving me Red Cloud. But it hasn't given me the fictional ones for DC Comics. It refuses to go back to DC Comics. Okay. That's just like my inability to work technology, honestly. Or, no. It jumped to the other thing. Okay, well, that's just fucking awful. Alright. So now I'm gonna go to, like, Native Americans in TV. As Indigenous people review Indigenous characters in film. That is by BuzzFeed Video. You guys can go find that. Have Indigenous people react to Indigenous representation on film and TV. That's 15 minutes long, and that is by React. I'm just sending you guys to where they're going to go because I don't want to have to try and make a video and explain all of this stuff. Native American movies of all times, top 10. That is by Stream TV. And then Images of Native Americans, Hollywood Stereotypes, the Native Americans. That is by Frames in Motion 2007. And talking about Sioux Massacre. And then you have SAG-AFTRA, Indigenous Actors, Stereotypes in Hollywood, Native Americans, and Indigenous Actors panel. That is 12 minutes long, and I'm going to go watch that later. And then you have Heroes Like Us, U.S. Native, it's just Heroes Like Us, Native American. So that's 7 minutes long, and there's more than one video for them, and they do pretty good breakdowns of the Native American characters. That one is 7 minutes and 38 seconds long. Native American filmmaking, that is by Frames in Motion 2007, but this thing's 13 years old. Native American hero Loiri, Piestewa, Native American soldier and hero in history. And then you have Native American fantasies, German Indian heroes, Times documentaries, New York Times, and it's by the New York Times. Best Native American movies, 5 best. This is by BEST5. It's 11 months ago that they did this. The 5 best top Native American movies. America, the story of the U.S. rebels. 4 episodes. Season 1 episode History. It's on the History Channel. It's 44 minutes long. Native American actors roles They Like Us, and that is from CNN. It was 3 years ago. I'm just giving you a feat of what I was going to be looking at. And then you have Netflix Chelsea Handler visits a Native American tribe that 3 years ago that hopefully she took that shit seriously. So I'm definitely going to have to go watch that. Alright, so let's talk Native American, shall we, since this is the last day of Indigenous Heritage Month. Alright, so I want you guys to understand that in making this video, I took classical consideration into this before I decided to sit down and just like start randomly flying off shit. Now, since I'm not in my room, I can't really maneuver this table the way I want to maneuver this table. And, I'm going to Google Native American folklore and see what we can get there. But, there's a lot of non-natives playing natives back in the early days of cinema. I said folklore, not gore. Okay. So I got folklore. I should have did like scary stuff because I like Native American scary stuff. I like scary stuff in general, so that's kind of not fair. But so I have folklore here. Let's see what kind of stuff they're gonna give me. Alright, we got all kinds of legends in alphabetical order. So I guess if I go to Crete, I can go to Cherokee too. But we're just gonna go to Cherokee because it's like right fucking there, and since I'm part Cherokee, we're gonna go to Cherokee. Alright, this is a collection of Cherokee folklores. By the way, if you guys want to see this, http, y'all know the drill, www.nativeamericanlanguages.org/Cherokee Legends HTM. I have no idea what any of that shit means. But anyway, let's go to names that I can't pronounce. Alright, so, Unetlanvhi, the creator of life. That is how they say God. I can't say that. I can't even pronounce that shit. So that is the creator or the great spirit. You know, so did you guys understand that? Jitsu, Jistu, Jistu, is rabbit, the trickster, which kind of goes with the coyote. They're kind of like on that same page. The folklore of the Cherokee and the southern tribes. His Cherokee name is pronounced similar to Jesse Do. Okay, Jeesedoo. Alright, so it doesn't really give me much here. And that just means I've got to do way more research than I want to do. Alright, so Cherokee myths, Cherokee stories, earth making, blah blah blah. I don't see anything scary. Hummingbird brings back tobacco, excuse me. Let's go to myths. Yeah, myths doesn't look really exciting. Like, at all. Yeah. Ooh, Book of Shadows. That sounds great. But I don't recall my grandmother Ada ever telling me shit like that. And there's literally like nothing here. Like nothing. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. Scare Formulas of Cherokee, published in 17th Annual Bureau of American Ethologies, a summary of works, honeymoons, Cherokee, shaman notes. This text looks like it's a somatic. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. Now you see why I hate technology. You know, there once was a time when you could request something on Legends and stuff like that. You could just say it and you can find it. And I can't because I'm slightly stupid. But, you know, that's only because I'm smarter than the average computer, but I'm not as fast thinking as the average computer. Or however that I am supposed to be saying that. But, you know, when you're looking for certain stuff, it's like almost impossible to find if you don't know the exact shit you're looking for. This thing has Cherokee folklore, but it's not really giving me shit. Alright? Like, at all. Got giant inchworms. Yeah, I don't want any of that shit. But yeah, you know, this is the last day of Indigenous Peoples Month. I was also watching this thing for school, and I found this Apache's thing. So I'm going to watch that later. I'm going to close this machine and put it to sleep. Turn it this way so I don't lose anything. Make sure all my pieces are there. So, okay. The thing about Native American portrayals on TV, we're going to make that part 2. Thanks for watching.